You ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. Ready as I'll ever be. Hello, everybody. How are you out there in the YouTube Rumble? Oh, I meant to share this on Facebook because they're still punishing me. I could share it on my what does it say? How are you feeling? Or what do you think? What is it called? Status. Hi, Ostawa. Great to see you. Thank you for checking in with me. I really appreciate you. I did take a little summer break, but I am back. I'm back. I think I got a little tripped up on this lesson here on the whims of men. And at the end of this little stream, I'm going to share a video with you that I worked on. Most of you have seen a lot of the stuff that went on here in Humboldt County, but I did finally make my first video. It's pretty lame. It's not like super great or anything, but it is a compilation of some of the whims of men that were out of their ever-loving minds here in Humboldt County. And so today I am going to do the reading. I'm not going to do a quiz because I think I got myself like ahead, and I did the quiz of the last principle we did, which was strong local self-government is the keystone to preserving freedom. And so I think, if I remember correctly, that I did do that quiz with you guys. And if not, then I will just do both of them. These all get pretty short. We're almost done with this book, you guys. We're almost done with this book. Again, this is the second time that I have gone through this. If you do not know, my name is Deanna, and I am streaming out of Humboldt County, about Humboldt County, to Humboldt County, and anyone else who cares. And we are studying up our principles. And what I really love about studying up on the principles is that when we learn this really starts helping all of us individually to comprehend what has happened to our country. And I feel that it gives me a lot of hope because I start to really see these principles in action. There are things that are happening around the country that mainstream doesn't talk about. And so it's very encouraging to know this language because we do speak in Babel, you guys. Hi, Benjamin. Good to see you. We do speak in Babel. We speak in Babel. And so we want to learn the language that will help us get back to our freedom. And so that is what I'm doing today. Let me quickly let them know. Yeah, I've got a lot of hurdles right now. I'm just trying to get over lots of things that are not working properly, in the technology world, websites that need updating and fixing, and my printer isn't working, and my Shopify store is, broke. So, let me just let people know on Facebook. Here is my Rumble link. So we'll get started right away. Rumble link for today. Well, for always. Here's my Rumble link. Just put it there. Okay. But I had a great weekend. I want to come back with Jen and some other friends. There's a couple different streams I'd like to do, but I want to do that How is your garden looking stream. I've been watching a lot of streamers that are talking about 10 things you can still plant in July. So just trying to keep my head high and watch things that are encouraging. I've been a little down. And, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I don't like to get on streaming when I feel that way because we all have our own, we're all down enough, right? So let's get positive. Let's get some positivity going. This is such an intense principle, especially after the last 4 years of living here in Humboldt County. But this principle is the 22nd principle. I'm going to share my screen with you and we'll get right into it. This is a free people should be governed by law and not the whims of men. Hello. Can I get an amen? You talk about the whims of men. At the end of this video, I am going to share with you, what was going on here. And it's a 5-minute compilation. I thought it was going to be a quicker one. There's a lot of just quick clips of people that would not serve me. They discriminated against me. I was fired, arrested for not wearing a mask. And so I put together a little compilation about that. And but I'll save it for the end. So a lot of you that have seen it, you probably don't want to see it again. But for some of you that didn't see it, it is exactly the reason why I started to stream in the first place. I wanted to find people that cared, who knew that it was wrong, because the mainstream here in Humboldt County, they don't care. All they do is gaslight each other, gaslight us to hate each other. And they keep beating the drum of every late psyop. It went from Antifa to BLM to Free Palestine. And, that there's people here that are still just focusing on that. It's like, what kind of service are you really doing for Humboldt County? Why don't you think about it? Because your agenda sucks. You don't care about the people here. You want us fighting each other and distracted. And that's just a real disgrace to you all. And I'm just so sad for you to be caught up in such useless things for us here at this time in history. Because we really need people that can focus. That is really what we need. We need people that can focus on the tasks at hand, focus on our community, focus on our foundation, focus on how do we get back to where we need to be, because we're definitely not here in Humboldt. And people thinking that they're not going to try this again, I don't know. I think there are crazy enough people. There are people that still wear masks around here and still believe the vaccine was the greatest thing ever for COVID. And it's sad because they're really at risk. And I've got to a place where I don't despise these people. I feel sorry for them. They're dying. They're dying from these choices. So it's always been important to me to share about that too. There is so much lawlessness going on. And as my friend always tells me, just focus on one thing, Dee. So what I've tried to do for myself and my community is focus on our laws and trying to comprehend them better. So here we go. We're on Principle 22. Free people should be governed by law and not the whims of men. Yes, yes, yes. I totally agree. And if you didn't know, I'll just do a quick recap since I've been off for a couple weeks. This book was compiled. It took 40 years. It was compiled by Dr. Skousen. And what he did was he looked for all the principles in our Constitution and laid it out in this format so we could understand. What our founding fathers did was study for 4 months. They studied history, they studied governments, and they studied human nature. And they quoted the Bible more than any other thing because it's the greatest book on human nature ever was and ever will be. And the foundation, our Constitution, is also dealing with human nature. Does mainstream media ever talk about human nature? Does it ever remind us that ultimate power corrupts and that we should not trust our leaders? We should be putting them in check. No, they don't. So we have to do it. So let's do it. Let's get started. 22. Free people should be governed by law and not the whims of men. To be governed by the whims of men, and by the way, this is just a couple pages today, super quick, super short. To be governed by the whims of men is to be subject to the ever-changing capriciousness of those in power. This is ruler's law at its worst. In such a society, nothing is dependable. No rights are secure. Things established in the present are in a constant state of flux. Nothing becomes fixed and predictable for the future. Law as a rule of action. The American founders and their Anglo-Saxon forebears had an entirely different point of view. They defined law as a rule of action, which was intended to be as binding on the ruler as it was on the people. It was designed to give society a stable frame of reference so the people could feel secure in making plans for the future. As John Locke said, freedom of men under government is to have a standing rule to live by, common to every one of that society and made by the legislative power erected in it. Under established law, every person's rights and duties are defined. Let me repeat that. Under established law, every person's rights and duties are defined. Anglo-Saxon common law provided a framework of relative security and a sense of well-being for people and things, both present and future. This is the security which is designed to provide a high degree of freedom from fear and therefore freedom to act. There's another verb word. Okay, just read. Such a society gives its people a sense of liberty, liberty under law. The American founders believed that without the protection of law, there can be no liberty. Responsibility of society to establish fixed laws. John Locke pointed out that unless a society can provide a person with a code of fixed and enforceable laws, he might as well have stayed in the jungle. To this end, it is that men give up all their natural power to the society they enter into, and the community put the legislative power into such hands as they think fit with this trust that they will be governed by declared laws, or else their peace, quiet, and property will still be at the same uncertainty as it was in the state of nature. John Adams. John Adams expressed the same tenor of thought when he said, "No man will contend that a nation can be free that is not governed by fixed laws. All other government than that of permanent known laws is the government of mere will and pleasure." Aristotle, human experience has taught mankind this same principle down through the ages. Here are the words of Aristotle in his Politics. Even the best of men in authority are liable to be corrupted by passion. We may conclude that then that the law is reason without passion, and it is therefore preferable to any individual. Plato was wrong. We deduct from this that Aristotle had concluded that the teachings of his mentor Plato were wrong. Plato believed that in the ideal society, the people should be governed by the few who would rule according to scientific principles and make on-the-spot decisions to force the people to do what is good for them. Plato argued that these men must not be restricted by written laws, but should govern the people in whatever manner they felt was for the best. He said, "The best thing of all is not that the law should rule, but that a man should rule, supposing him to have wisdom and royal power." Plato acknowledged that in the absence of rulers with the scientific wisdom to govern, a code of laws would be needed, but he insisted that this would be the second best thing. Law is a positive good in preserving liberty. As we have seen, the American founding fathers would have agreed with Aristotle rather than Plato. Part of this was due to the fact that the founders looked upon law differently than Plato. Instead of treating law as merely a code of negative restraints and prohibitions, they considered law to be a system of positive rules by which they could be assured of enjoying their rights and the protection of themselves, their families, and their property. In other words, law was a positive good rather than a necessary evil. This was precisely the view of John Locke when he wrote, "The end of law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. For in all the states of created beings capable of laws, where there is no law, there is freedom. For liberty is to be free from restraint and violence from others, which cannot be where there is no law. Law should be understandable and stable." The founders were sensitive to the fact that the people have confidence in the law only to the extent that they can understand it and feel that it is a rule of relative permanence which will not be continually changed. James Madison emphasized both of these points when he wrote, "It will be of little avail to the people that the laws are made by men of their own choice, if the laws be so voluminous that they cannot be read, or so incoherent that they cannot be understood, if they be repealed or revised before they are promulgated, or undergo such incessant changes that no man Who knows what the law is today can guess what it will be tomorrow. Law is defined to be a rule of action. But how can that be a rule which is little known and less fixed? It will be recalled that Thomas Jefferson resigned from Congress in 1776 to hasten back to Virginia and volunteer for the task of rewriting the state laws so that when independence had been won, the people would have a model system of legal principles which they could understand and warmly support. The complex code of laws and regulations in our own day could be greatly improved through a similar house cleaning. Yeah, like the Chevron. What is it? Act? Law? Well, I don't even know, but I'm very excited about the Chevron ruling by the Supreme Court, that interpretation. It's about time. It's about time. Let me stop sharing. So let's see. Let me find for you my little compilation that I put together. I call this one Humboldt County Mask Holes. And why I'm not hearing the volume in this. Okay, I see. And like I said, a lot of you have seen this, but for some of you that didn't see it, this is exactly why I stream in the first place. It is this tyranny that I was not the only one to go through it here. A lot of us went through it here, and it was horrible. People were horrible. People forgot we are a nation of laws somehow, and they were running on fear, and they were running on a mandate, and it was just out of control. It was absolutely out of control. So let me just share this with you, and I hope to come back and do a gardening stream. Also would like to start our study on faith with people, and just I want to talk about God. I want to talk about God with people, and get into that. Get into, where is your faith? Where does your faith come from? I don't want to preach at people. I want to have discussions. I don't see how. I don't see how. Thank you for being here with me, and I gotta get rid of that Twitch bot. Can you boot them out? I know I have somebody in here. Somebody must be here. All right, just gonna share the whole screen because whatever. All right, this is my little video I made while I was on a break and gardening. I will come back and share the gardening with you, but here is Humboldt County mask holes. I don't know why the volume is so low. Can you guys hear it? I'm not gonna wear a mask. I need my mom's medicine, guys. What? Why? Why would you do like that? Why wouldn't you not give me the volume so low? Can you guys hear? Tell me your name. I think you can hear it. You have it close right here. Push this button so I can get my. Okay, you're gonna not let me go to work today? I cannot let you go in. There you go. Read it all. Okay, I will call Dawn and have her. I will call them too. So you're refusing me my civil rights exemption? Are you refusing me my civil rights exemption? Yes or no? You're not gonna let me in there? Our policy. Your policy is over federal law? Your policy rules federal law? Okay, fine. So you're all gonna refuse me service right now? You're gonna make me go outside? No. This chick was the worst. You can't hear very good. Still? Is it not better? This chick was the worst. I don't know why it's so bad. I don't know why.
I'll never come back again.
I don't know why.
Enjoy your math.
That's a crappy, that's very crappy. You're right. I can't hear it at all.
I'll never be back in your store again.
I don't even want to hear it again.
Don't worry.
I'm going to drop the link for you if you want to watch this later. I've definitely watched it more than I care to. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know why the audio doesn't. It sounds loud here. And it should be good. I don't know. You know me. Rookie streamer here. Mic volume's all the way up. It's not on the microphone. Or is it on the microphone? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe this is better. I'm so done with this video anyway. Let's see if this sounds better.
Discriminating about it. Okay.
No.
He's discriminating against me. He will not.
It's not any better. Whatever. I'm done. I'm over it. It's just aggravating me anyways. But I did upload it to BitChute. So if you guys actually want to see that trash, these trash people in Humboldt County, so unhinged and ruling by the whims of men, ruling by one weaselly man. And at the end of the video, it does share it was a Peggy Hall. It was a Peggy Hall video that I shared. I bet you can hear this great.
Why do people lose weight so rapidly?
Maybe it's because my file. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I wish I had help, but I don't sit around and dwell on that for too long because, you know, help I don't think is coming for me. So there it is on BitChute, and I have really I've uploaded all kinds of stuff onto BitChute. All of the shorter clips, I found that was a great place to hold short videos. Rumble takes so long to upload. YouTube will cancel and censor you and take your channel. I've had 3 channels taken away in the beginning. So, you know, I don't whine about any of that because I know what I was getting into when I got into this. The censored information, that's the information I want. The people lie to us so much when they're trying to cover up stuff, you know something's up. So here was just everything. This channel, I shared the video. You can just find this channel, Stand Up Humble. BitChute has changed everything, and it's not. Every time I sign in now, it wants me to reset my password for some reason. I've signed in multiple times with it, created new passwords. Everything feels like it's against me sometimes, you know. And like I said, I'm not going to whine about it and I'm not going to complain about it, but I'm going to let you know that's where it's at right now. All the technology is just not working smoothly, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle. And you know, you just got to keep getting back up. Just got to keep getting back up. That's all we can do. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I pray you all, the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. Be gracious unto thee. It's a little bit out of order, but it was nice to be with you guys again. I really appreciate all of you who watch this later. Most of you do watch this later, and I really do appreciate you. And I hope that you have a great week. I hope to come back and share some garden videos with you and with my friend Jen and anybody else who wants to share what they're growing in their backyard. Free food. Thank you, guys. I heard someone say this recently. I liked it so much better. Peace in. Peace out. Peace in. Love you.